was out at sea, boat capsized, the crew was lost, and it was reported that Grandpa drowned. So the family was notified, your father's no longer alive. And they had a memorial service at Sacred Heart Church, which was our family church in Boston. And Grandpa was gone. 3 weeks later, they're at the kitchen table, and the door opened, all 6 children, and Grandma, and there appeared in the doorway, Grandpa. He swam to an island, and was rescued by another trawler. And I'm telling you all this because that's how I migrated to New Jersey. Grandpa said, I'm never going to go deep sea fishing again with my family. We're going to move to New Jersey, and I'm going to sell fish from a wagon. That's all I know how to do. So he took his quarter horse by the name of Jack, and he went door to door, town to town, selling fish, until he opened up 2 retail fish markets, one in Lyndhurst and one in Melbourne. And he did that with his sons, his older sons. So Mom was brought up on fish. And all the Verdis, as we all know, live very, very long. So it says something about fish and dying, I guess, because that's what they live on. So Mom moved to New Jersey with the family and schooled in New Jersey. Unfortunately, there was some tragedy in the family. She lost a brother that was 4 years younger than she. But as a teenager, Mom quit school and she became the mother of the younger 4 children. And the younger 3 children. And they're here today. Uncle Joey, Aunt Paulie, she gave me 5. Number 5 children. That's right, I'm sorry. Aunt Paulie and Aunt Rose. Would you please recognize them? Some of you will be going to their 100th birthday party because the Verdis stick around for a long time. Anyway, Mom never talked about, so she became a mother at a very young age. She met my father at a wedding by accident. She tripped over his foot. He was an usher at a wedding. They started dating. Dad took her to Bud's Hut for their first date and took her to a movie. And the movie was Boys Town. I don't know how many people in the room remember that movie. I'm sure the younger people don't. But if you ever get a chance to look at it on demand or online or whatever, they were very taken by the movie because it had to do with a father Flanagan, a priest, that cared for young children, young guys, young boys that were delinquent. They had no mothers, no fathers, some did. They lived on the street for the most part. And they stole from other people. Father Flanagan had the church parish, he was a priest there, and he took each boy and wanted to build a home for these boys. Mom and Dad were so excited about this movie. After World War II, when my dad got back from the war, and I'll explain that in a second, they decided to donate in 1946 to the Boy Scouts. By that time, Father Flanagan was getting contributions from all over the United States, some businesses, and he started building one home after another to take in the delinquent boys, only boys. So, 73 years later, my mother donated to Boy Scout and never missed a year. And they just made my mother, for her 100th birthday, an honorary citizen of Boy Scout. I'm not going to believe the name of the priest that was the president of Boy Scout. Boys is his name. B-O-Y, yes. I thought it was a joke when I first got this. But anyway, here's the certificate. By the way, everything that's up here, please feel free to come later and take a look at it. It's just kind of interesting. Mom was named the longest continuous contributor of Boy Scout USA. So Pearl Harbor, Mom's married Dad on September 6, 1941. Married into the Negra family. Dad had 3 brothers. And 3 months later, Mom's pregnant. And that date was December 7th, 1941. We all know what happened then in Pearl Harbor. 2 of my father's brothers, Anthony and John, went into the service, into combat. And 2 of Mom's brothers, Uncle Joey and Uncle John, also went into combat. I'm sorry, Mom? Any of Rosie? I didn't realize they were in the comment. And Rosie went in the comment when she drove a school bus.
Disappeared.
So Dad wanted to go in, and Mom begged him not to. So Patty was born. Patty was born on August 26, 1942. Dad went into the Army and immediately went overseas. And he was at the Battle of the Bulge. He was wounded. Mom had no idea what happened to him. While he was there, Mom started listening to a shortwave radio because she heard that Radio Berlin was announcing the name every night at 6 o'clock. They would announce 5 prisoner of war names, American prisoner of war. These were pretty much down flyers. My Uncle John Negra being one of them. So Mom started listening to the shortwave radio and she would copy down the name. So she would write Ron Negra, Nutley, New Jersey, and send a letter to the family of Ron Negra, Nutley, New Jersey. Never expected to hear back from anyone. Well, the families responded really nicely to her, showing or expressing their gratitude. That her word was the first word in many cases that their son, father, brother was alive and captured and in prison camp. Mom did this and wrote hundreds of letters and received over 200 responses from the families. Mom never talked about this. I had no knowledge, neither did Patty. About 2.5 years ago, she showed me a box, and it had all the letters in it from the families that wrote to her during the war, expressing their anxiety, emotions, fear, hope that they would ever see their loved one again. A lot of wives, a lot of daughters, a lot of children wrote to her. So I decided to get these and take a look at them, and I'm very emotional. And I decided to put this down in writing. So for 2.5 years, I interviewed Mom without her knowing it. I would ask her questions. Her memory, as we all know, is pretty good. And she would tell me everything that transpired and what happened. So I took down the notes and I decided this needs to be in a book. So the book has been printed. We're negotiating now with the publisher. And the book is called, since she used shortwave radio, the book is called Ways of Hope. And it's based on the memories of Agnes Negra.
That woman has done more in her life than I've done.
I wanted to give this to Mom for her birthday, for her 100th birthday. So printing took place. We're still copywriting it, which takes a long time, and I know there's a couple authors in here that understand that process. And as soon as the publisher settles on this, we'll be happy to publish. But there are printed copies up here. If anyone wants to take a look at it, I'll be happy to show them to you. I don't have many, but there's some up here. Because of Mom's efforts, the World War II monument was being built in Washington, D.C. And we received a letter, she received a letter that she was being named the Home Front Hero, which is kind of neat because her name was included in the World War II Memorial, along with my father and I'm sure many of your relatives. So I went down to Washington, D.C. and I said, I have to see this for myself. And I plugged her name into the computer and there it was, Mom's name. So she's been named the Home Front Hero, and her name's been now enshrined in the World War II Memorial. But if you haven't seen it, it's really interesting in Washington. Those that served and died or lived are a part of that. So there's the certificate that she received enshrined. I decided she deserves some recognition, so I went to the state in her hometown now, Lacey Township. They had never issued a proclamation for anyone that was 100 years old. And they made it very clear to me, people 100 years old just don't float in here every day. So they issued a proclamation, and all these things are up here, by the way, which is really quite nice. I mean, they covered pretty much her whole life, and they presented it at their township meeting, and it's really done very well. So that's the town. The state of New Jersey passed a resolution in her name, and we got that done through Senator Connors. Very nice. My mother never had a doll when she was a kid. They were a very poor family. She used to tell me when I was a teenager, so, I never had a doll. So we would say, well, why a doll? What's the big deal? Patty and I were in our 20s, and we decided on a Cabbage Patch doll. But Mom never had a doll, so she retired and she said, well, I gotta do something. And she started making dolls. And she felt that when a child was born, a little girl, they should have a doll. And when the little girl was growing up, she should have a doll. And some other mothers approached her and said, I never had a doll when I was a child either. So Mom started making dolls, and she kept a diary as to who she made them for. She was a dressmaker, so she sewed all the outfits. I mean, they're quite detailed. I don't think you find things like this anymore on the shelf. Mom, how many did you make? How many dolls did you make? 200? So, when Mom made dolls, if you pull down the back of the pants or dress on the rear end, Mom signed it and called it an Aggie doll and put the date there. So if anybody in the room has an Aggie doll, just pull down the pants and you'll see the year that it was made. Absolutely. Who has one? Anybody have a doll? Oh, look at the hands. Look at that. Isn't that great? I hope I'm telling you this. You don't know about Mom or didn't know about Mom, but you know, growing up, I don't think your mother is remarkable. You know, if she cooks something really good that you like, I think that's pretty neat. And as we started doing research on Mom, we realized that she did a lot of neat things in her day. For example, I don't know about your Christmas, but mine started out going to the Nutley Orphanage. Nutley had an orphanage for many years, and Mom and Dad volunteered there, and our day started delivering gifts on Christmas Day and other holidays to orphans. I thought that was quite exceptional, since many other families were sitting under their tree or going to see Grandma or whatever they were doing. We eventually did that, but our day started at the Nutley Orphanage, and the smiles on those kids' faces were really great. Mom was behind all that. Mom supported my father, who was very active, as many of you know, in every endeavor that he did, mostly sports, recreation for kids, things like that. Mom was always at his side, working hard and making things happen. She had a great work ethic. She went to work for Hoffman Roach. I wish they were still in Nutley, because anybody in Nutley should belong to this company. Fabulous company, great benefits. Never paid a penny into her health plan, by the way, and she's challenged that health plan many times, as many of you know. But Mom worked at Hoffman Roach for 15 years. And at her retirement party, the respect showed for her was absolutely incredible. So I have a letter up here from Hoffman Roach acknowledging her time at Hoffman Roach and also her milestone 100th birthday. You know, politics always has to get involved. But Mom was a big supporter of Laura Bush. She thought Laura was a lady and did a fabulous job of reading and libraries and all that. So Mom really liked her, and she would write to her. Well, Laura Bush, a letter up here from Laura Bush as well, which I thought was really nice. And some other politicians, Congress, President of the United States, those kinds of things. They're all up here, so please feel free to come up and look. Okay? I know, Jennifer, would you call Jason perfect little angel? Perfect angel. Perfect angel child. When Jennifer was growing up, we would say things like, Jason being the oldest grandchild, we would say things like, Jennifer, don't do it that way. Jason doesn't do it that way. So poor Jennifer would sit there and go, here we go, I'm going to hear about Jason over and over again. Anyway, live in front of you is Jason, Dr. Jason Toppler. I'd like to say a few things to you. Jay,
I just want to say a few things. First off, I'd really like to thank my Uncle Ron and Val, my mom and dad, for putting this amazing celebration together. But I had the privilege of living right down the street from my grandmother my whole life, which was fantastic. And really just had an amazing relationship with her and my grandfather. I think one of my grandmother's favorite stories was when I was a little kid and in elementary school. The school bus would drop me off at the end of the street, and I would come home, and Grandma and Grandpa were sitting at the door, and I'd come by and have some milk and cookies and just visit. And by the time I got home, my mom was frantic, like, where have you been? Why didn't you come right home? So after that happened a couple times, she said, "You can't go there anymore, you have to come right home." And so my grandmother always told me she remembers me walking down the street on the side, kind of waving to her as I walked past to head home. But I was able to go back after that. I never forgot that. The other thing, my grandmother's ageless. How many people do you know get their first iPad and first email address when they're 100? So it's Agnes Negra at iCloud.com. Wants to email later. The other thing, which I don't know if anyone knows, a lot of you probably do know, but 30 years ago, and when I was 17, my grandmother was 70, we both went together on a snowy December day and got our driver's licenses together. Which was pretty amazing. So I just want to call up my cousin Jen, Kelly, Jim, and our all grandma's grandchildren, and then their great-grandchildren, Ella, Chase, and Gavin. Come up. Just from all your grandchildren and great-grandchildren, just wish you a happy 100th birthday and a healthy 100th birthday, and hopefully many more.
I can't believe Jennifer looks just like Ron. I can't believe it. Just to backtrack just a tiny bit. 1952, there were 10 Nutley women that were very active in town, married to guys that grew up, men that grew up in Nutley, that were friends from kindergarten, childhood. And there were names like the Rookie and Cacciola. They formed something called the Pals Club. It was to play cards every Friday night. Hurricanes, snowstorms, nothing stopped the card game on Friday night. And Frank is here, who's a cousin to Dottie Cacciola, Frank and Rob and Ellen, the Rookie, are here. Rob's mother was instrumental in this as well. But I had 10 mothers and 10 fathers. Remarkable, that looked after me. We knew everything that was going on in town. They supported every cause. Anyone needed support financially or other, those 10 women, and eventually my aunt joined them, my Aunt Georgina Verdi, joined them and made it happen. So I had such, and so did Patty, we had such a role model from all these people. And they were Nutley, deep in their heart, Nutley. And that was a great experience. But Mom was the co-founder of House Club. The big thing was at the end of the year, they took all the husbands out to Las Vegas, New Orleans, San Francisco, whatever they wanted to do. They threw so much money in the pot, every card game. One interesting one comes to mind. We had a major snowstorm in Nutley. I think there was something like 28 inches, 30 inches on the ground. And Mom and Dottie and Margie were on the phone. And they were saying, oh, we got to get everybody to Dottie's house tonight. We got to get everybody. And my father was saying, Agnes, we're not going to. I can't get through the streets. They haven't been plowed. Lo and behold, the plow was coming down the street, the Nutley plow, DPW, whatever it was called, was coming down the street. Dad stopped the plow driver. We lifted my mother up because those things are really high. My mother with her suitcase. She went to Dottie's house for 2 days, and they played cards. And they ran the whole time. I think this is not for life, to be honest with you. But they all showed up. Great experience. Okay, I'm almost done, guys. I promise. I talked about, This was interesting. Poor David Verdi, he gets crazy emails from us all the time. NBC has a segment on the Today Show, and it's the Smucker's Jar segment, where they recognize people that are 100 years or 100 year plus, people that have happy anniversaries, that kind of thing. But it's hard to get into this thing now. Willard Scott used to do it, and he's no longer doing that anymore, but it's kind of difficult. So we wrote a couple of letters and didn't really get an answer. And then finally, Patty worked on David, really started the right channel. Finally, Mom was on the Today Show segment, recognize her 100-year birthday. If anybody wants to see it, or if you missed watching the Today Show that day, you can go online and get Patty Stop the specific website. I'm sorry, YouTube. Excuse me, it's on YouTube. Agnes, Negra, 100 years old. NBC, Smucker's Jar segment. Well, anyway. You know, I talked about the dash in your life. There's an unknown author. As I started thinking about this dash and I started doing some research on it, there is an unknown author. I just like to leave you with this message. I think it's kind of neat. I showed it to Mom about 5 years ago, and she loved it, and it's her favorite poem. It's called The Dash in Your Life. I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on her tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted first came her date of birth and spoke of the following date with tears. But he said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For that dash represents all the time that she spent alive on earth, and now only those who loved her know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live, love, and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. If we could just slow down enough to consider what's true and real, and always try to understand the way other people feel, and be less quick to anger and show appreciation more, and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogies begin read with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you spent your dash? Mom, we're really proud of you. You did a good job with that. Patty and I, your son-in-law Bob, your daughter-in-law Val, your grandchildren Jason, Kelly, Jennifer, and Jim, and your great-grandchildren Gavin, Ella, and Chase are proud of you. You teach us every day the love, loyalty, and devotion to family. I can think of no greater gift for our family than to have you as a role model. The people in this room, your family and friends, came from all parts of our country to celebrate with you because you have touched their lives in some way. You've brought joy to many, past and present. You've been a remarkable wife, mother, grandmother, great-grandmother, friend, and neighbor for 100 years. You made your father's toast when he looked at you at birth and said the Italian word gendon, which means may you live 100 years. Mom said to me, don't ask me to speak, I'm not speaking. So I'm speaking for Mom. Thank you all for coming and for being a part of our family. Thank you.